Ah, you can't see me. Oh no, I broke everything. Hey, I hope this audio is working. Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out my broadcast today. My name is Jonathan, and today is day 384 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. If this is your first time checking out my broadcast, a little bit about me and my channel. I'm 39 years old. I'm married. We have 4 children together, and I've suffered from being overweight my whole life. As long as I can remember, I've been the biggest kid in the room, the largest person I know, I suppose. And so last year I decided that I needed to do something. After years and years of yo-yo dieting and kind of, you know, having weight loss success followed by drastic failure, it got me to a point where I was 520 pounds. I knew I needed to do something. So I created this challenge with two major points. The first point is that in the past, I kind of let off the gas too soon, or I gave, I let old habits slip in and never stuck to anything for an extended amount of time. And so I knew that I needed to commit to doing this for longer than I've ever committed to doing something. And so that's why I chose to challenge myself to do this for 3 years. That way, it's as much about the time and changing of the habits and figuring things out and educating myself as it is about losing the weight. And the other half of this is about losing the weight. And many times in the past, I'd give myself a goal to lose as much weight as I could before this event happened, or to lose 100 pounds, or to lose 120 pounds. And I would reach my goals a lot of times. Um, and I would get excited about reaching those goals, and I'd start letting old habits come in. But I would never get to a weight that is really a healthy weight. I would just try to be, less than I was. And this time I knew I needed to commit to losing more weight than I've ever lost before to get down to what is a much healthier and uh a normal weight for somebody my age and my height. And so that's why I challenged myself to lose 300 pounds. So far, everything's been going really well. I'm 384 days in, like I said. So just over a year, I've been able to lose 200 of the 200 pounds of my 300-pound goal. And I'm really excited for the next 12 months. I'm hoping to get real close to that goal, if not, reaching that goal within the next 12 months. Um, if anybody has any non-scale victories they'd love to share, I'd love to hear your guys' non-scale victories. Just any questions, comments, I'd love to hear from you guys. Carrie's checking in saying, hey, Carrie, I hope everything is going great at home with you and the kids. I know she was doing a lot of running around today, so she might not be on here too much. But the if you haven't already subscribed to the page, make sure that you do subscribe to my channel. Also, click on the bell icon so you can turn on notifications. You'll get alerted when I go live, which is usually around 4 p.m. Central on weekdays. I also have an Instagram account. You can follow that at Fasting. That's FAHSTING. I also have a Discord that um I created for this kind of channel or this challenge, that you can join that. Let me know how you're doing on your challenges. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing with your weight loss, what you're doing to better yourselves. And the Discord is a great place for you guys to share those things. We also share some of the meals that we're eating and recipes on the Discord. We also have a Pinterest board that the link for that is down in the description as well. Those links, or those are that Pinterest is a bunch of meals that we eat, kind of our favorites, kind of things we go to. Let's see. Since yesterday, it's been not too crazy of a time, I suppose. Food wise, kind of mostly on par, on track, and we'll go over that a little bit as we talk about the evening. But um, Carrie for dinner made these falafel bowls that she really enjoys. It's one of her favorite meals. We had kind of mixed reaction from the kids. They seemed to not like the sauce more than anything. There was a like this cucumber sauce. It might have been like a cucumber and cashew based sauce that they were unwilling to really give a shot. You know, the one daughter that wasn't eating the cucumber sauce had cucumbers in the bowl that she was eating, you know. So it was just kind of funny what they will and won't eat. But uh it was great. I mean, I had I guess you'd call it a bowl and a half of it. And um, just a real simple recipe. There might have been something missing from the last time we had it. We were trying to decide last night if maybe we had red onions in it before or something that gave it a little bit different flavor. But either way, it was enjoyable, and I highly recommend it. And it's another one of those meals that the first time I tried it, which would have been a few weeks ago now, very nervous about it, not sure if I was going to like it, and very surprised, you know, by the result or when I actually did give it a chance. Um, and so that was our dinner for us, and then kind of the same kind of snacks we always have around. I finished off. We didn't have a lot of dehydrated mango left. Probably, you know, just maybe what you would fit into a hand. So I guess a handful, and then some cashews. But the cashews are getting hit hard by the whole family. I had them out, and I had kids just swarming me for cashews, which was kind of funny. Um, and then last night we did something that very out of the ordinary for us, not something that I would have done or wanted to do a couple years ago or over a year ago. Apparently, well, I didn't know it at the time, I guess, but uh the school that my kids go to hosted or they were hosting a roller skating event at a local skate rink that uh that was last night. And so Carrie had messaged me whether or not I thought we should go because the kids were kind of asking about it, or it had been mentioned in some fashion. And so Carrie says, "Oh no, I didn't make it to Costco. You were supposed to go to Costco and get mangoes and almond butter." I don't know. Maybe I can go on the way home, but because I wouldn't mind having dehydrated mango for the weekend. Uh, but um, so they had a roller skating party for the school, and um, with the ages of our kids, the older kids are able to kind of get thrown out there, or you know, they're not very. One of them is a better skater than the other. They're not professional roller skaters. It's not something that we do very much, and uh, so but they were fine on their own. In fact, one of our kids was having difficulty, and a lot of their friends stepped in and were helping them out, and uh, really great to see them kind of overcome the difficulty and keep falling down and getting back up, and trying really hard to succeed. But we have what ends up happening that in the past I would have kind of been able to say, "Oh yeah, you go ahead, Carrie, and then I'll watch the twins." Well, now the twins are at an age where they can do these things, and if it were just one kid, I could still say, "Well, you go have fun." But uh, so Carrie roped me into going with her. Um, Really, and I hadn't planned on roller skating at any point, and then she kind of dropped the ball on me that that was the whole point, that she even needed me there. if I wasn't going to be roller skating, then why'd I even come? Right. Oh, she didn't really, but, it, so I did end up picking up some roller skates here. Uh, they are, that plastic was really painful. I'm not sure if this is the first pair I got or the second. I actually had put a pair on and ended up going with the size up because they were hurting my feet because they were so tight on the sides. And then the second pair that I got that were larger, I ended up actually loosening them up a lot because I they didn't need to be tight. And really most of my evening was spent like this, with one hand on the wall following a little child trying to learn how to roller skate, every now and then watching them fall. Gary said it was all part of her evil plan to get me to go roller skating. We had 8 years ago or so, when I lost some weight, I was smaller or lighter than I am now, but we went ice skating and I don't think it was very fun. I don't think I did very well ice skating. Which is funny because in doing this, it kind of brought back memories of going roller skating as a kid, with the school events. And I actually remember doing a lot of rollerblading, and I wasn't gonna pick up rollerblades, especially after the memory of the ice skating was real difficult with the balance, and it was just something I had never done before. And it's just it's different than roller skating, but it was there was a lot going on going roller skating. Um, the Carrie says that's coming up again in January. Well, you're not gonna get me to go. I don't think I'm ice skating. I don't even. But the ice skating is different because you can get away with walking on the ice at the place that we do the ice skating. Here, I couldn't have got. They would have given me a hard time probably about walking without roller skates. So, um, the probably the best part about all of this though really is that I ended up seeing people that I know. Like that's the I've always I'm being sarcastic if that's not apparent. That's 'cause we're in an interesting, because we live near where I went to school. Like I didn't go to the elementary school that my kids go to, but I went to the other elementary school in the same small town that and so I'm not far from where I went, and a lot of the kids that I went to high school with went to this elementary school. And so anytime that we go to a school event, it's kind of like a mini high school reunion in some ways, or I definitely run into people I know from high school. And last night was an example of I would not have gone there a year ago because I would have been a bit embarrassed about how big I was and not wanting to run into people that I know. Last night I was it was uh I wasn't as nervous about that. I figured I'd run into some people I knew, and I did run into 3 or 4 people that I knew. And um there was no, it was more about just me watching the kids, like just the interactions I had with them. And uh but I didn't, like, well, for one, 200 pounds ago, I absolutely would never have even thought to put roller skates on. I wouldn't even have pretended that I was gonna try to go roller skating. Um, but I didn't feel like I was totally, I don't know, fish out of water kind of thing out there on the roller skates. I'm not a very good roller skater. And if I lose more weight, I'll probably get better. I did, though. I would say that my non-scale victory from roller skating yesterday is that I did never bite it. Like I never fell flat on my back. My knees never hit the ground. I got really, really close one time on the carpet after all the skating was done. me and one of the girls were like on the opposite end of the skating rink from where our stuff was, and it would have taken us a month to go on the skating rink to get around. So we just got on the carpet. I thought it would be quicker. Wasn't really the case. But we got to a spot where I just started to lose it. And if there was tables there, if there wasn't a table there, I would have been on my face. But I got extremely lucky and didn't fall on my face, didn't make myself look like a complete fool. I was giving Carrie a hard time because I told her that I was going to end up being a meme or something, just my dumbass falling or something. And so um, it was really great to get out there and do that and do something with them, and kind of something that I uh I guess I didn't really think this out in my head, but um I don't fail in front of my kids very much, or I don't struggle in front of them uh that kind of way, like, so for them to see me, and Carrie was out there too. She was graceful. She looked like a ballerina out there dancing, but for me, I'm out there, almost falling every 4 seconds, and continuing to keep trying and figuring it out. And really it was, I know I've roller skated and I've done, but like, uh it just took a while to kind of get my feet under me and get a little bit better. But I also had gotten to a point where, like, I had it set, had it kind of perfect that if I used my right foot and kind of, I was pushing with my right foot and kind of coasting on my left foot, and that was kind of how I was doing it. And I was like, well, I should try to kind of change it up a little bit, because I'm just doing this. I'm not really learning how to skate. And the first time I went to kind of push with my left foot, I almost bit it too. Um, so it took some time to kind of learn how to roller skate better. I still didn't do well, and but I don't. It's one of those things, like, I guess, but like, I know how to do a lot of these things, or I've done a lot of these things. Um, but because they're so difficult for me to do, we haven't kind of done them with the kids. And simple things like playing basketball, or, doing uh things like roller skating or riding a bike, or, things um that were difficult for me to do before, that uh, I can see the benefit in them watching, or being like, because I couldn't ride a bicycle, I never rode a bicycle in front of them. So they didn't learn how to ride a bicycle from me, like, they know how to ride a bicycle, but it wasn't because they were watching me. They didn't learn by my example, whereas with the roller skating, especially with the twins, because I was right with them, they kind of watched me struggle, and they saw that I kept, I was keeping going too. I think they were probably more focused on them not dying, or falling on their butts. But anyways, I was happy to get out and do that. It's huge to be out doing these things with the kids. I A year ago or 2 years ago, when they would have done this previously, I would have found an excuse not to go or not to do it. So I'm happy that we went out and did it. We did end up, so it's such a struggle with food. I knew that it was going to be an issue going to the roller skate rink. That I mean, I didn't even look at the menu at the roller skating rink, but I can imagine that nothing on the menu would be considered a vegan item, or very few things on that menu would have been vegan. And they would have been like the Skittles, those would have been the vegan items on the menu. And, in the end, maybe we didn't make a better choice, but we didn't end up letting the kids get any concessions. at the roller rink. We got some water there, but we didn't buy any concessions at the roller rink. And then, kind of by the end of the night, the way things worked out, we actually ended up going through the Burger King drive-through and getting the kids the Impossible Whoppers. And we didn't get everybody. We kind of let them. We got fries and Impossible Whoppers, but um, the the convenience of being able to like get them food, especially since dinner wasn't a huge hit for all of them, or the ones that even ate dinner didn't eat a lot of food. We knew that they were hungry, especially after doing the roller skating. So having that as an option to uh, get the food was great. Um, so for them, it may not have been the best thing, but we felt like it was better than getting some of those options that they had at the roller rink. And uh, again, for me, the temptation, I ended up, one of the kids didn't finish their burger, and I tried the burger, the Impossible Burger, and I don't feel guilty for trying it. It was uh, something that I wanted to see what it tasted like, and it's really it's almost it tasted really good. Like, the first thing I said to kid, not that it tasted very close to actual meat texture and everything, and the burger I had from one of those Foz Feast was similar. I mean, it was thicker than what the Impossible Burgers are, um, but I tried it and it was good. It's passable. Our kids were really excited when we mentioned that we were gonna go get them. They uh were excited to that was what we were gonna stop and get, because we haven't been uh, stopping getting super, like they always want to stop at McDonald's or stop at places like that. And we won't do that. We're not doing it now. And so having that as an option to go to is really good. The kids wolfed down the burgers and the fries, and we ended up getting them home. It ended up being super late, but we got them home, got everything together, and then this morning again for food with me, kind of back to the oatmeal again. We had Carrie picked up the mango pico de gallo and avocados and everything, so we were able to have our um avocado toast with the mango pico de gallo and miso for breakfast as well. Um the Instapot's been doing great for cooking the oats. I think that it was just oat groats this morning. I don't think there was steel cut oats in there, but it might be a mix. I can't remember if Carrie just mixed them together and is cooking them that way or not. But I really like eating the oat groats. And we'll continue to do that. The Let's see. And then yeah, that's really the last. I haven't eaten since then. So um today, at work, I had a little bit more to do. I actually like had somebody right here right before stream, so I felt a little bit frantic getting started. But um, it's a continual. There's these things that I don't have to do every now and then with these trucks, or doing, climbing in and out of the back of like large box trucks. Um, but the my ability to do that now is just incredible. And the uh getting in and out of, those vehicles used to be kind of a pain, or I would avoid it or try to get somebody else to take care of that stuff if I could. Um and now it's so much easier to do those types of things. Um and Yeah, it was a good, yeah, I don't know. It was just crazy last couple days. Me and Carrie have been, it's a mix. Okay. So the we eat a mix of steel cut oats and oat groats for the oatmeal in the morning. Um so I did physical therapy yesterday morning, and I have been like it felt really good to do the physical therapy and to work out the muscles. It's not something that I've done at all. It's something I've been kind of avoiding, but uh I it's kind of a twofold thing, or it's kind of a from what I was talking about earlier. But I uh my left bicep is very weak compared to my right bicep because of the surgery. I can still do a lot of things. I can still pick up my kids, and it's strong enough. It's functionally strong, but in comparison to my right arm, it is much weaker because of the surgery, and then also that I've been compensating for not having the use of my left arm by using my right arm. So it's probably been getting stronger or staying stronger because it's been being used. And I with winter coming up as well, uh and not being able to do outdoor activities as much. I was looking at different gyms near where we live because I wanted to see about maybe doing a just like a winter membership, like just from now until March. Like I don't want to sign a year contract. I just want somewhere that I could go that has access to cable machines and some lighter free weights so that I can work out uh my bicep muscle to try to strengthen that, maybe do some other lifting, but also do cardio and have, maybe exercise bike, treadmill, elliptical, to do that as well. And so we were looking at different gyms, and like what I was talking about with my kids, not doing stuff with my kids or in front of my kids, I got thinking about how like there's places like Anytime Fitness, Snap Fitness, kind of those places where you can just get a membership and go and work out, but they're not like family places. They're not anywhere you can take your kids to work out with you. Like if I wanted to bring my son with me and have him ride the exercise bike for 20 minutes while I did a workout, I couldn't do that with just a membership at one of those places. And the YMCA is not like real close to us, and I mean it's not really really far away, but it's not the type of it's not what I was kind of in the end what i- is going to happen that I'm a big fan of is that there's a rec center that has a small workout room that has some free weights, a few cardio machines or exercise machines that you can use. But it also gives you access to the rec center that has basketball courts and an area that we could take the kids and do stuff with them there. The family membership at the rec center is incredibly cheap compared to any membership at any other place because it's not like a very fancy thing. Carrie says it's very small, but it's very close. Yeah, it doesn't have like a big track that you could run, but it has a couple bench press, stations, two or three treadmills, exercise bike, elliptical machine. Um, I think Carrie said that somebody had told her that they don't charge very much because sometimes the equipment's broke. And so you pay for what you get. But like this weekend, if it's really cold, I'd love to be able to take the kids to the rec center and go play basketball with them or something. Or we could even make up games because I don't think that the place is going to be very busy. It also because of technology, it's 24/7 as well because you just get like a key fob to get into it, sort of like you do at those other places. So we would be able to kind of work out whatever worked for our schedule to go and work out. Be something where Carrie drops the kids off at their preschool, like on the same street almost, or within a few blocks of where the rec center is, so she could easily go up to the rec center, do something, and then pick them up from their daycare, which is only a couple, or their preschool, which is just a couple hours in the morning right now. So, anyways, having uh, a membership to this rec center, I think is going to be really good for my ability to rehab my arm, but also for us to do some activities with the kids and be able to bring, like I said, my son with me and kind of show him some basics of weightlifting, or cardio workouts, and then also, bring them in, and because like I said, we've never really showed them how to play like basketball or to do, I'm sure there's other things we could do inside. We could probably play dodgeball as a family. Um, we got enough people. So, anyways, I'm looking forward to getting that membership to the rec center. It's not, I'm not looking to go to the gym and become a meathead. I'm just looking to rehab my arm, and if I can also get into a cardio schedule, I think that will help with my weight loss. I think that um, I felt really good doing that kind of little bit of cardio I did with the hand bike, and then doing the roller skating last night was a real workout. Like I had kind of we had been there for probably an hour, and I was kind of like, man, I'm really surprised that I'm not like winded or fatigued or sweating my butt off, was what I was really surprised about. But by the time we were leaving, I had started to sweat and really got a sweat going. Um, but anyways, the weight's kind of installing, so I'm excited about doing, having this ability to do some activity to help kind of keep the weight, or kind of push that weight down. Um, and so that's kind of what's new with us, but we're probably not even gonna mess with that till after Thanksgiving at this point. I don't know if it's worth messing with, because we're gonna be going out of town Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and then we won't be back until Saturday, Sunday. So we'll see what we end up doing with that. I don't have a whole lot else to go over today. Talked about the food, and just I've been continuing to listen to the book, and I had it written down in the description, show note description, wrong before. What is the name of the book? The Proof is in the Plants by Simon Hill. Uh, if I think I said it yesterday, he's everything he's talking about in the book is the stuff that is at the forefront of my kind of the what's what's strengthening my resolve and sticking with this diet. I started this strictly purely from a health weight loss. This is what the people that are experts are recommending. And so in that anyways, that's what I tried this for my health. And then I am kind of on this side of the diet, and I'm seeing all of the marketing that went into making me eat the way I eat, and all of um the, the politicizing of the food system, and a lot of how the system's set up to make us fatter, whether it's wants to or not, or whether it was meant to or not. But it's all based on profits, and profit comes from volume of customers, or getting people to buy multiple times, and so you have to make people addicts. And so uh everything is made to be as addictive as possible, or as blissful as can possibly be. And so he talks about that in the book. And he talks just, yeah, I mean, like, if I were to write a book, so far the points that he's hitting on are the points that I would be hitting on as well. And I really like everything about the book so far. Um, Trying to think, there was something that I was going to mention from the book, but I didn't write it down. So um, it's just it's really cool to listen to the book. And it's somebody who hasn't been doing this for years and years. They kind of came to it, I feel like, a similar position that I came to it, is that that's what the research was showing me, or what um that it was worth giving it a shot. And then now that I'm on this side of it, I feel so much different. And another thing he talks about, and um that I is the use of the word dieting and the word diet, and that it's become synonymous with low calorie eating and changing, like health diets. And dieting is the word dieting is just a word to express how you eat, or how a culture eats, or a way of eating. It's not specifically uh, a health word. And that's a funny thing, because I the name of this channel is Fa Dieting, and I've thought about changing it. And because there was an example in, I think, in the book Whole from T. Colin Campbell, he talks about not liking using, he doesn't like to use the word diet when he talks about whole food plant based. And I am kind of the opposite, is that I wish that they could take the word, the meaning of the word back from the health industry, or the health food industry, because this is like my diet. This is how I eat. It's whether it's the healthiest diet or not the healthiest diet. It's still a diet. And I'm just right into the book about him talking about the word dieting, but he's going more towards the way I would go with it, and in that it's just a word to explain a way. You can have a bad diet. It doesn't, it's just a way to explain a way of eating. Um, and so I really am a big fan of this book so far. Everything about it's resonated with me, and it's going to be interesting, because I feel like there's, like I talked about, you go down this path for one reason. I went down this whole food plant-based path for my health, and then along the way I see the impact that it's having on the environment, um which is the way Simon's going to kind of go with this book, and talk about how not just eating this way is good for your health, but it's good for the environment. uh I've definitely strengthened my resolve by researching the animal industry, watching movies like Dominion, and seeing the food industry and the animal agriculture in a different light than I used to see it. Also seeing the food industry in a different light than I used to see it. And uh, that all strengthens kind of that determination to stick with it for me. But I still have to focus on, or keep my eye on, that kind of main first point, is that I'm doing this for my health. And I I kind of feel like sometimes I might let my, well, I can have this thing that's a little bit processed, because I'm still doing it for the animals, or I'm still doing it for the environment. Um and I need to not do that. I need to really be, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be about it, honestly. Uh Because I look at this trip that we have coming up with Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving dinner, the options that we're going to have for Thanksgiving aren't going to be SOS free options. I'm going to eat the vegan options that we have, because it's going to be about the event, and about the, um, and for me, I'm excited because there's going to be a whole big group of vegans inside of a not much bigger group of non-vegans. In fact, with us and our in-laws, we're like eight, like a third of the people eating Thanksgiving dinner out of 30 are gonna, it might even be more than a third. Yeah, out of 25 people, like a third of the people are gonna be vegans. So that's really cool. Um, and maybe it'll rub off. Maybe we'll have somebody that sees us and says, oh, they're looking like they're not dying. And but anyways, but I'm not gonna feel bad about it. And then I'm thinking about the trip down and the trip back, and we're gonna be wanting to stop for food. And I don't think I'm gonna feel bad if I have Burger King on the way down or the way back, because um I've just decided I'm not going to care about it. It's, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to make changes throughout the rest of my week, or like it's a aggregate thing too. It's, when I look at my diet as a whole, it's 99% perfect, 1% not perfect. At some point, that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this for the time, is that if I stick to a diet that somebody who's 220 pounds would be eating for long enough, then eventually I'll become a 220-pound person. And that's kind of what I felt like this whole time. And that's the way, like, if on a whole, I'm eating like somebody who's 200 pounds, or somebody that's my ideal weight, or if I'm eating that calorie average per day, then I'm not going to feel guilty if one day it's not a perfect day. Um, I'm not, I, I've spent the last, I spent definitely the first 9 months really being strict about things. And I'm going to give this being mostly strict a shot. We don't bring any of this stuff into our house. We're keeping it out of the house. I think that is a huge part of it, is, because if it's in the house, then we're going to eat it. We're going to be tempted by it. It's only in situations where we're out of the house. And if we get an opportunity for me and Carrie to maybe go and eat at a nice vegan restaurant in St. Louis, that might be something we do. I don't know. But I don't want to take those things off the table. And it doesn't change that I still just didn't, like, my diet the other days of the week is pretty much, I mean, if you watch my videos, there's not a huge variety in kind of how I eat. And when we travel, I'm gonna see what I can do about sticking to the 2 meal a day, kind of just eating in the morning and then kind of going a long time and then eating in the evening. But I'm not going to make any promises on that either, because I'm just going to let happen what happens. And December 1, I got to get on the scale. So that's less than 2 weeks from now. So it's going to be, I got Thanksgiving next Thursday, and then 6 days later, I'm going to get on the scale. And I don't want to be in a position where I've gained weight for sure. I'd like to be in a position where I've lost a few pounds. And so I do have to keep an eye on it a little bit, but not too hard. All right. I think I've gone on long enough today, but I want to thank you guys for checking out my broadcasts. If you haven't already liked the video and you're still watching it to this point, make sure you do like the video. I appreciate you checking it out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon, turn on notifications. Check us out on our Discord. Check out Carrie's Pinterest board down in the description, and my fasting Instagram, FAHSTING. Either Discord or Instagram is probably going to be where I will do any updates next week while we're traveling. If you guys haven't started a diet yet, get started right now. There's nothing coming up that's more important than getting your health and your wellness under control. Make it a priority. It's not, nobody gets to the end and gets to their goal and looks back and says, I wish I would have waited. Everybody looks back and says, if I would have started sooner, I'd have been so much later than I am now. I think that now, if I'd have started this 15 days earlier, instead of waiting till November 1st, if I'd have just started doing this October 15th, how many more pounds would I be down already? I'd be 2 weeks closer to my goal. And so, get started right now. And there's nothing that's more important. And with the holidays coming up, if you're grossly overweight like I am or I was, nobody is going to have a problem if you just say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have that today. I'm watching what I eat. You don't have to get into what you're doing to what, how you're getting into your diet, what you're doing with your diet. The fact that you're starting a diet, it should be enough, especially if you're, like I said, starting off at 500 pounds like I was, just doing something. I mean, I could have said I was doing anything to lose weight and Carrie would have been on board, so the people that love you will support you. And so you guys all have a great weekend. I will be back on Monday, maybe Tuesday, but I'll definitely be on Monday. So we can kind of check in before the holiday weekend, or the holiday week, whatever you want to call it. You guys all have a great evening.